Hey guys, welcome back to Level Up with Keeks. We are here for another regular scheduled payday video. Change of scenery. I'm in my office today because laundry is going and it is super loud. Even though I said quiet on set, the laundry machine is still going. So I wanted to move in here to make sure it was as quiet as possible so that you guys can hear me yap and yap and yap. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Keeks. I do everything finance, budgeting, productivity, entrepreneurship. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you just joining us, welcome. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching another video. And yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, before I open up the tracker, if you're not new here, you already know what I'm about to say. As you guys know, I've been tracking my budget basically as a religious thing. I've been consistent with it, super consistent since the start of January. I purchased the KA8PNQ Yearly Budget 2.0 tracker and have been hella consistent in tracking my spending, my budget, my debt repayment, which is a new series I've started called Debt Me Out. So go ahead and check out the playlist here so that you don't miss that. But yeah, I've just been super consistent. I would not be able to be here and say that without the KA8PNQ Yearly Budget 2.0 tracker. I absolutely love it. If you are not new to my channel, you know how much I love it. It's also customizable because it's a spreadsheet. So what is there to not love, really? If you guys want to budget with me or use the tracker that I've been using, I have linked it in my Stanster below. So go ahead and check that out. And if you want to set up the tracker with me, I've got a video right here showing you how to do exactly that. So next time my budget payday video comes up, you can literally sit with me and we do our payday together. That's been the whole goal. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, this one is gonna be probably a bit of a longer one because I have not done my payday for August yet. So we are gonna be tracking all of the transactions and adding up all the numbers and seeing what we get. So as you guys can see here, I'm opening up my August tab. This is the standard color that the tracker comes with, but if you are not new here, you know that I like to customize my colors. So that's the very first thing I'm gonna do because I can't focus. Cue the fast forward so you guys can watch me in 2x speed update the color of this tracker. And we're back. Okay, cool. As you guys see, I have updated my spreadsheet to the beautiful color yellow because it is my birthday month and we're Leos and we're the sun and we're lions and it's just giving a lot of gold. So naturally, August is going to be yellow for me and I love it. Okay, so now that the tracker is pretty and beautified to my liking, we're going to start by entering the income. The income is the first thing I always do just because I want to make sure that I'm tracking all the income that I've received, but also things that I'm owed. So if I've paid for something and need to pay someone back, I want to make sure that I track that so I have a good forecast of what I can expect to come in. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're done. So when it comes to my income, the total expected income is around $8,083. And currently I've got $4,415.75 that has been actually deposited or provided to me. The only income I want to highlight is my Wealthsimple interest. So I really love Wealthsimple for that because it's just basically money sitting in my checking account and also interest that I'm earning on my emergency funds. So if you guys know me, you know I'm trying to build up the emergency funds. That is my #1 priority. And so it's nice that the money that's sitting in there is also earning interest. I love it, literally love it. If you guys don't have a Wealthsimple account, I'll also put my referral code in the comments and in the description because if you use that referral code, we both get $25. So that's $25 we could put into my emergency funds and for you to put anywhere to potentially earn interest on. So click that link below if you want to use it. Next, let's talk about savings. All right, so when it comes to savings, as you guys know, I'm trying to save what, $25,000 by the end of the year. I'm currently at around like 8,000, which is great. That is great progress. But just highlighting this section here, the only things that I have really focused on towards my savings has been my emergency funds, which I put away $1,300 a month, and my Wealthsimple RRSP managed portfolio, which I put exactly $800 a month. Both of these are automatic transfers. So as soon as I get my paycheck in Wealthsimple, I have automatic transfer set up so that the money goes directly into each of those accounts. Every paycheck, $650 goes into the emergency fund and $400 goes into the RRSP. If you guys saw one of my earlier videos, I ended up owing what, $18,000 in taxes. I'm hoping by contributing to my RRSP throughout the year that I will reduce my taxable income and have a lower, hopefully zero taxes owed next year. Fingers crossed, vaginas crossed. So that's really it for savings and what I'm focusing on. Next, I'm going to show you guys how I entered the transactions into this tracker. All right, so what I love about this tracker is everything is automated. So all All of these sections you see here, income, bills, expenses, savings, which I just touched on really quickly, and debt, along with subscriptions and membership, they are all auto-populated. So you don't have to go and segment and categorize everything there. You simply need to scroll down to this transactions tracker and enter in everything. The best part about it is that in the beginning, when you first set up this tracker, you set up categories for each of the segments. So when it's time for you to enter your expenses, which you'll see me do now, you simply choose from the drop down where that needs to go. So if I did groceries, I can type groceries and assign that dollar amount, and it'll pop up in my expenses under groceries. It is literally that simple. I absolutely love it. We'll do another 2x, probably 4x speed, and I will quickly enter all of my transactions for August so far. And I probably have to finish off some transactions that were entered in July. So let's go do that now. All right, I have just entered all of my transactions for August, which it is the beginning of August, so it's not that much, but I'm also gonna talk about my goals because I am trying not to spend this month because I did crazy last month. If we just look back, what I did was, in addition to entering the transactions for August, I also had some that I had not filled out for July. That was an additional what? An additional $1,700 that came out in July that I hadn't tracked yet. So it was quite a bit of money spent in July. If I just do a quick sort, because I don't think I had like an end of July budget recap. For July, how much did I spend? Total income was $82.82, and my total expenses, considering bills, subscriptions, expenses, savings, and debt, totaled $16,212. So I doubled in my expenses what I made in income. If we go over to August now, you'll see there hasn't been too many transactions, but if we scroll to the top just to see what the totals are, left to spend is negative $367.54. That is because of what was overspent in July. So if you don't know, if you didn't watch my last payday video, I did book a trip to Thailand, which has sparked, sorry, my foot's itchy, which has sparked my Debt Me Out series because your girl did not plan for this purchase, but I'm very excited for it. So it's all good. Most Americans and most Canadians, at least over half, have debt. So we're fine. Like, everybody's got debt. We work through it. As long as you have a plan, you're okay. So I'm not too pressed about it. But as you can see here in July, over by about $4,000. And in August, I am currently over by about $367. So that is something we can work with. I have really tightened down my budget for this month because I am not trying to spend anything, but we'll talk more about that later in terms of the plan of attack for the month of August. Let's just talk about what money went where so far. All right, now starting with the bills, so far what has come out, there was a bank fee that came out. So one of my banking fees came out for $4 a month, but I also, in checking my transactions, realized that there was a rebate. So I basically put the $4 in and then also subtracted it because the money came back. So it basically cancels out. Right now we had the budget of $13.99. So it's actually going to be around $9.99. I have no clue why they're doing this rebate though. I've only noticed it in the past couple of months. It's got to do with something. I'm not sure why they're doing the rebate, but I'm going to adjust this budget to just being $9.99 because then I can expect that to come out for my Amex Simply Cash credit card. Right now that's at $0. Condo fees have been paid on the 1st of the month. So that was $530.63. In terms of my hydro, that's likely going to come out on the 15th and has not been paid. I always put a rough variable budget of around $200. My goal is to always come under $200 because I am a single person. I should not be using that much water. My parking spot, I'm going to be paying on the 15th of the month. That'll be $190. And property taxes are coming out monthly. So I don't know what came out last month, if anything, but I put around $300. I will get a more accurate total for this month because last month with my mortgage, I had like 3 mortgage payments and 1 was from my old mortgage person and 2 were from my new one. And then something was like prorated. It was really confusing. It should firm up and be clear this time. So I'm going to see what the total is, and no home insurance should be coming out. So I currently have a budget of about $1,230 and have spent $530.63. And that's that for bills. Next, let's talk about subscriptions and memberships. So for subscriptions and memberships, we've got some new subscriptions that I have just added to my tracker, literally in doing this update. And you'll see down here, it is for Canva. CapCut is a newer one, but I also need to update the budget for it. So looking at this here, Amazon Prime, that's a yearly expense, so I don't expect anything to come out. ChatGPT is about 32 bucks, has not come out yet. Spotify hasn't come out yet. TV box is fine. Don't have Wattpad anymore, so there shouldn't be any other expenses coming out of there. Mastermind is a yearly expense. Good Life, I can expect to spend 68 bucks. I gotta send that to my mom. CapCut, their prices went up. That's mad annoying. So I'm gonna put the budget to $32. And then Canva is 40 freaking bucks. Super annoyed with that, but that's okay because it's actually very necessary and needed for me. So far the only things that came out were Canva with August 1st and August 1st, those came out. The only things left are Good Life, Spotify, and ChatGPT. It's not bad. Still a really good place to be. Under $200 in subscriptions is really good. So I'm not mad at it, and I don't have any subscriptions currently that I don't need. So we're good. That's it for subscriptions. Let's look at my expenses so far. All right, so when it comes to my expenses, everything is again very new. So we can kind of look at the budget that I've set for August and hopefully stick to. When it comes to groceries, my budget is $327.30. I haven't done a grocery for August yet. I am trying my best to empty out my fridge before I go to a grocery. However, I'm very hungry because I'm out of breakfast items. I just had like leftover rice and some fish that I made last night for breakfast, which I love. It's actually a really good breakfast in my opinion. But yeah, I need some ideas. I've got a lot of frozen seafood in my freezer. So it's time, and I've also got a lot of frozen vegetables. So it's time for me to get creative and tap into my Gordon Ramsay and start cooking some meals. I really want to challenge myself to come under in this category because as you guys saw, I spent a lot of money last month. I want to tighten it up so that I can start paying down my debt, which you guys again can follow in the Debt Me Out series and how I work towards that. When it comes to dining out and entertainment, so far I'm well under budget. If I look at July though, July we didn't do too bad. I was only over budget by 75 bucks. Yeah, we didn't do terrible on the expenses actually. It was just this travel for $4,900 that tipped me over quite a bit. So yeah, right now dining out $5.06. I don't have any budget though, so the way I'm seeing it, instead of this $150 budget, let me actually slash this right now and call it $50. But before I slash it, let me make sure it's realistic and check my calendar. I literally have, as you guys can see in brown, no new plans, no spending. So I'm doing my best to remind myself every single day there's nothing else. If it's not on the calendar right now, it's not getting added. So there's a birthday dinner and movies. That's fine. I'm gonna probably get paid for. And then the 31st of August, a little barbecue. That could put us over, but we're gonna call it 65 bucks is the budget. No more, no less. Uber Eats and DoorDash, 50 bucks. I'm gonna keep it at 50 because we all know who I am. Like, I'm not gonna argue that. We're gonna keep it and hopefully I go under. I really do wanna try and home cook as much meals as possible, but sometimes every Friday, weekend, like it's okay for me to order something. Like I'm not gonna kill myself. Clothing, I don't have any budget for clothing. I don't foresee me buying clothing this month. Joe, 128 bucks. She is my most expensive gal. Personal care, 50 bucks. Personal care, I'm gonna have to up to 80 bucks because I'm gonna be doing a Reiki session literally today after I film this. And I think that's gonna cost me $75. Actually, I would put that in my health and wellness. So we might be okay. You know what, 50 bucks for personal care. That's more what I consider to be like my shampoo, conditioner. Speaking of personal care, I think a new body wash is gonna be needed very soon and new face wash. So that's a decent budget for me there. Transportation, $140. Let's call it 120. Nothing needed for hobbies and fitness. YouTube video editor, $350. Donations, gifting, 40 bucks. That's fine. Household, I'm gonna put household down for, instead of 150 bucks, $100. Miscellaneous, 75 bucks. That's okay. Health and wellness, I'm gonna up to 90 bucks because I need to refill my prescription. So I can expect to spend about 15 bucks there. And then that's where I'm gonna track the Reiki therapeutic session. I don't know, I've never done Reiki before, but as I'm recording this, it is the Lionsgate portal. It's August 8th. So I wanna open my chakras. I wanna make sure I am open and ready to receive all the abundance in my life and can manifest it accordingly. So I really need somebody to unblock these chakras, like literally. So excited for that. I'm gonna put it under health and wellness. Social media manager, $300. Travel. There's gonna be another travel expense that comes out. It's gonna likely be around $8,000. So I'm not gonna put it in just yet because again, as you guys know, I don't have the cash for it. This is going strictly onto my debt which is going to be tracked in another video, and I'm going to work to pay it down at that point. And that brings our total budget to $1,695.49. Current spending is currently at $636.86. Now, a lot of this spending has to do with my business. So right now I've already spent $361.38. I know I'm a broken record at this point, but your girl still hasn't set up an accountant. What I want to do and what my goals are, and that's what I'm gonna work on as well. I want to clean up my QuickBooks. So I have QuickBooks, it's an accounting software. I want to clean that up and make sure everything is clean and good to go for when I reach out to an accountant. I did see an accountant to just get a quote, but bro, when I went into the establishment, it was an actual brick and mortar, like you could walk in off the street, and I felt like I was inside Buried Alive hoarding episode. Like, I don't know how to further explain. This wasn't someone's home. This is a brick and mortar. Anybody could walk in on any point of the day and come into this place to try and get a service done. The place was crazy. Your place messier than mine. So I just don't feel really comfortable with you tracking my finances. She was really nice though. That's why I'm like, maybe. But either way, right now it's gonna be a no for me. If you guys know any good business accountants in Ontario that don't charge you $7 billion, like, let me know. But for now, I really want to clean up my QuickBooks, make sure all of my transactions are there. And this accountant did tell me what I could do. So because a lot of these are coming out of my personal, I basically need to export a spreadsheet, which I can leverage this for, and start tagging all of the expenses that came out of my personal accounts that were actually business expenses. So that hopefully when I do file, I can get a rebate. But that's it for expenses. I do expect to go over budget this month because again, we're going to be further in debt. I only did one part of my Thailand trip, which was the actual excursion that I'm booking with a group that's being led, blah, 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 a bunch of entrepreneurial women. It's gonna be great. I need to book the flight. And as y'all know, I'm trying to go business class on Qatar Airways. Should we tag Qatar Airways? Guys, please, you know what? Let's just shoot our shot. Everybody tag Qatar Airways and see if they can get me a flight. In return for this flight, I will film the whole thing, okay? Like, I will film start to finish my experience flying Qatar Airways. I am going to, after this call, bro, I'm gonna email them after this call because guess what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So let me pitch myself to Qatar Airways.
Do you want a partner and I create some content for you? What's going on this flight? Let me know.
Email Qatar Airways so that I can give you guys a review of the Q Suite business class. That's it for expenses. Let's look at my savings and my debt. All right, so when it comes to savings and debt, I actually forgot to enter the transactions where I did the automatic transfers. I've just updated that, but we will look at the end to see what the total is because, you know, I'm a little bit more over my spending, which we already knew, it's fine. But when it comes to savings, like I said, this is my priority. So that's the first thing I set up to make sure that as soon as I get income, money is being transferred so that I can hit my savings and RRSP goals. So $650 did come out automatically and moved into my emergency funds, and $400 did move out automatically into my RRSP, which this RRSP is different from this top one up here. The top one was like an RRSP that I could trade within, but I would need to buy stocks and stuff. I have like a few Canadian Tire stocks, a few of our big 5 banks. When it comes to that RRSP, I just wasn't interested in picking those specific stocks and having to like have that much attention to detail right now. Eventually I will, but I still want to be investing, and you can do it really passively. You don't have to actually work that hard to invest. Managed portfolios are the way that I lazy girl invest. So essentially when you set up a managed portfolio, if you open an account on Wealthsimple or other accounts, you do not have to use Wealthsimple. I don't know, you basically choose your tolerance. Like, are you conservative? Do you like to take risks? The tolerance level basically indicates how much you can expect your money to go up and down. Because I'm young and I want to have my money in my RSP for a while, I put my tolerance to high risk, which means that when the rewards are up, we'll be able to gain money faster. It also means that when the market's in a low, you can expect greater dips than if you were on a conservative managed investing portfolio. All of this to say, you don't have to worry about anything other than selecting that, along with some of the things that are important to you. So like they have like halal stocks or stuff like that. So you can look at what you'd prefer to have these managed portfolios invest in, and then that's about it. You kind of set it and forget it. So every time money goes in there, it's getting actively invested and growing in addition to the money that I'm feeding it. When it comes to my debt, mortgage payment, since my last mortgage payment came out on the 31st, I can expect my next one to come out on the 15th. 15th, and the next one to come out on the, I don't know, it might come out on the 1st, honestly. So we'll see how that goes. 169.53, that's an end of the month thing. Laser treatment, oh my gosh, I think this might be one of my last laser payments, and I'm not sure when it is. But yeah, so nothing in terms of debt has been paid just yet. And that's about it. So let's take a look at the full spending, and then we will go into my savings and debt tracker. All right, so like I said, all the transactions have been entered. If I scroll up to the top here, drum roll please. We are $1,417.54 over budget. I don't really mind this number because I promise you it's going to become an even bigger negative number once I book this flight. It's gonna get bigger. So we're okay. Again, if you're new here, or actually everybody's probably new because I've just started this Debt Me Out series, go ahead and check out that playlist. Or if you're not already subscribed, make sure that you subscribe so that when those videos come out, you can watch me paying that down in real time. So far, total income $44.49. Total expenses is at $22.88. 444.88. Lionsgate portal. Geez, you guys, this is crazy. Either way, all that to say, like obviously my expenses for August haven't overdone it, but because I've overspent last month, you know, it's a little bit shysty. We're gonna go into the savings and debt tracker just to quickly go over how I'm tracking against my savings goals. As you guys can see, we've got 4 things that I'm tracking on this savings and debt tracker. In green are the things I'm saving towards. In red are the debts that I need to pay down. So if we look at the top here, our number 1 priority this whole year, emergency funds. The goal is $25,800. I am currently putting in $1,300 a month. Now I had started at $17,000. Imagine how close your girl was, but then had to pay down a bunch of taxes. So y'all do your taxes on time. If you still haven't filed your taxes, go ahead and watch my Wealthsimple tax filing. It's that easy and it's free. For those of you that think it's not free, Wealthsimple will automatically be like, hey, do you want to tip $25? You take out the 25, you put a 0. It's free. So when it comes to my emergency funds, we started there. Currently, we're back down to $8,954.18. So one second, if I jump over to my August, as you guys can see here, this $1,469 is money that came in, but I want to assign it to my emergency funds because it's money that's going into my emergency funds. It's interest that I earned in my emergency funds. So $1,469, that was on August 1st. Now, if I go to my savings and debt tracker, we've got $89.68, which is great. Looking at how much is left, we are 34% along the way to my goal of $25,000. And if we capped at the rate of $1,300 a month, it would take us 13 months. But like I said, I'm manifesting big income, big brand deals, big opportunities for me to 50x my income this year. So I think we're gonna, you know what? I know we're gonna hit the emergency fund savings goals. And guess what? Even if we don't, whatever's in there, we're making that next leap. We just have to. We literally have to. Jumping over to our next savings, the RRSP managed portfolio. The goal is $10,000. I've been putting $800 monthly. There was about $2,200 when I started doing this automatic payment that I set up. It's gonna be a combination on this side because I have contributed some because I contributed some to my other retirement fund, the one that was like the stocks I was telling you about. I took the amount from there, and I've also got $3,070 in my managed portfolio. We're on track to hit our goal right in time for the next tax filing season, so I think we're okay there. Now, in terms of my debts, my Affirmed MacBook payment is a total of $4,070 approximately. I already have a preset payment for $169.53, and I had already paid down about $1,300 by the time I started adding it to this tracker. So I've only got about $1,100 left, which is around 7 payments. I should be paid off by February of next year. And when it comes to my laser treatment, $25.54.44, look at that, 444. But I'm not really bald, like that's mad annoying. Actually, it's not too bad. That's not too bad. My monthly payments are $212.87. I am 91% there. I have one more payment left, geez Louise, and then we're done. And that's $212 that can go straight into building my emergency funds, and we're golden. So yeah, that is the current progress. As you guys can see here, the total goal is about $42,423.07. I'm putting down almost $2,500 a month towards both savings and paying down this debt. And it also gives you a visual of how many months you need to reach each of these goals. So 1 month here, 7 months for both of these, and then 13 months for my emergency funds. life is good. Okay, next, let's take a quick look at my annual dashboard to see how I'm tracking for this year. And then let's talk about what my goals are for the month of August to try and tighten up as best as I can. So coming on to my annual budget for 2025, my total income this year so far has been around $80,000 and my total expenses have been $81,000. We are for the first time spending more than we make, which is very accurate because for the first time I'm actually carrying over debt like in a while. Crazy times, crazy times. And as you guys can see here, it's illustrated. My income was down here. My expenses were all the way up here. That's how debt starts. And that's how you get that, girl. So like I said, debt me out playlist. We're gonna take care of it. I'm not worried. Y'all shouldn't be worried. Debt is normal. And I think if you are wise and you're smart about how you plan to pay it off and you have a good plan of action for tackling your debt, you're gonna be okay. It's only when you become super avoidant that's like, you know what, I know I'm in debt, but I'm just never gonna look at it and hope for the best. That's kind of when you get yourself in a bit of a pickle, but you're gonna be fine. So long as you're tracking it, so long as you're joining me on my Debt Me Out series and sitting down and looking at your debt and coming up with a plan and making the little steps you can to pay it down, you'll be good. Quickly looking at this pie chart, as you guys can see, my debt takes up about 48%. Almost half of all of my freaking income goes to my debt. So this is living in Ontario. This is why I'm genuinely contemplating selling my place and leaving the country, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, what do I care? I don't care to have 50% of my money go towards paying debt and then another 30% of my money go towards paying taxes. So I literally have 20% of my money to do what? To live and save and invest? Crazy. That's insane. Expenses take up a good chunk, 37%, but that's my livelihood and living and having fun, so I do not mind that. Bills take up about 12%, not terrible. Subscriptions, less than 1%, gag it. And savings, we're just hitting over 1%, so I love that. And yeah, that's it for the annual budget. Let's quickly talk about my goals for August and what I'm trying to focus on. Quickly touching on my goals for August and what your girl is trying to focus on. I have 3 goals. Goal number 1 is to keep all unnecessary spending down and to commit to a no spend month. This no spend month does not include groceries, bills, all of the necessities, and it does not include everything that I have already committed to. But other than that, I'm saying no to any excursions and outings that I want to say no to, unless it's an amazing outing and someone's paying for me, I'm not going. So we're gonna keep spending down. That's number 1. Number 2, we're gonna try to make some income. I'm gonna try and release my mindset makeover thing. Like, you guys don't even know what I'm talking about because I've not spoken about it at all, but I'm gonna try to release a digital product. I'm gonna also try to make a video on creating and releasing that digital product. And I am going to try and reach out to Qatar Airways and see if they can pay for my flight so that I know if I gotta pay for that or if they're gonna sponsor me. That's number 2, get some goddamn income. And number 3 is just gonna be to realign on my goals. If you watched my last video, which nobody watched, so please go watch it. If you watched my last video, it's my birthday month. I've done a lot of reflecting. I want to come up with some solid goals to finish off the year and also create a plan to really tackle these last 4 months because the year's almost over. 2025 is almost over. It's been an amazing year and I want to really focus on how I can make the most and get the most juice squeezed out in these last bits of the year. So that's number 3. Number 1, save some money. Number 2, make some money. Number 3, make a plan and execute it because it's 4 months left to 2025 and it's time to turn it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know you guys love the budgeting videos. Hopefully you enjoyed this change of scenery and it's been really good hanging out with you guys as per usual. Don't forget to comment below if you have any August goals this year. Let me know what they are, if they kind of line up with mine or if they're completely different. And if you guys have any cool trips you're booking this year, let me know so that I feel less bad about the debt that I just put myself in. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.